everybody! Welcome to the first official video for You Choose Tunes. I made the rest of this video back in the fall when Mad at Disney was popular on TikTok because I thought it would be a good example of the kind of music you can request from You Choose Tunes. I hope you enjoy this video and welcome to You Choose Tunes. The things that we're going to go over in this video are our F-sharp minor scale, which is the key of the piece, how to count tricky syncopated rhythms because there's a few of them in this song, and then we're also going to go over how to choose the best A sharp or B flat fingering and which one I would suggest that you use in this piece. Feel free to skip ahead to the recording of the piece if you feel like you know those things already, but just remember that the stuff that I go over in this video will not only help you play this song, but will also just help you become a better musician in general, and hopefully you can learn something new. So without further ado, here we go. Alright, so one of the most important things that you can do when you look at a new piece of music is check out the key signature. So if we look at the key signature for this piece, we see 3 sharps. Those 3 sharps are always in the same order, so it's F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. So in this case, those 3 sharps indicate that we are in F sharp minor. So that means that the notes in the F sharp minor scale are F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, and F sharp again. So we're going to play the full octave and then come back down. I'm going to demonstrate that for you so you know what it sounds like. So an easy way to think about playing an F sharp minor scale is to think about playing your A major scale, but starting on F sharp. It's the same notes, just starting on a different note. So anyway, here is the F sharp minor scale. So that is the F sharp minor scale. It's always a good idea to practice the scale of the piece before you play it, so that way you're already accustomed to the sharps or flats that are going to appear in the piece and you don't have to think about them too much. So go ahead and practice your F sharp minor scale. So one of the tricky things about this piece is the presence of syncopated rhythms. So this appears right away in the first full measure of the piece, where we have these dotted eighth rhythms that are right up against each other for the first 3 beats of that measure. So we're going to break this down a little bit. So in order to count that, we need to know what our 16th note subdivision is. When you're counting 16th notes, you want to think about saying the letters 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So that's 1 E and a, 2 E and a, and so on and so forth. So that's just a good way to keep everything even while you're playing. So these dotted eighth rhythms are equal to 3 16th notes. An eighth note is 2 16th notes, and then that dot adds half of whatever it's attached to. So half of an eighth note is a 16th note. So therefore we get 3 16th notes equals a dotted eighth. So when we're thinking about how to count this rhythm, we know that a full beat of 16th notes is 1 E and a. So when we only have 3 16th notes, it's 1 E and. In this case, when we have 3 beats of dotted eighths back and forth, the subdivision becomes 1 and E B4. So let's look at the second full measure of the piece, where it's 3 beats of dotted eighths back to back, and then 2 eighth notes on beat 4. So that rhythm would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and E, 4 and 1 is how that rhythm would go. So before you just go right into the piece and try and play that rhythm, let's practice it in the F sharp minor scale that we just learned. So you can either practice that rhythm on the same note, so it would be bum 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 bum, so on and so forth. Or if you're more comfortable with the rhythm, you can just go right on up and down the scale. So that would be da 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 da, and so on and so forth. So if you haven't already, go ahead and grab your horn, and we're going to go over some of these exercises real quick. So we're going to practice that first exercise first, where it's just bum 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 bum. I won't go up and down the full scale because you'll kind of get it after a bit, but I'll do the first 4 measures of what that would look like, okay? So remember to really be subdividing down to the 16th note. So that's what's going on in your head. All right, so Let's do that exercise together. 1, 2. Alright, and then you would just continue going up to that high F sharp and then bringing it right back down. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do that second exercise that we talked about. So this one, it doesn't land nicely on the top F sharp or the bottom F sharp, but it's just a good way to, again, practice that rhythm and practice changing notes in that rhythm, since in the song, we don't just sit on the same note. So go ahead and take a listen first, if you would like, and then go ahead and play it back with me. So 1, 2, 3. So I kind of cut it short at the end there. You can go ahead and like tongue the rest of that if you want to. So ba 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 ba. You can end it like that. You can just kind of cut it short like I did. You can go a little further down on the scale. Be creative. Do what you want. But that's all. So after you've practiced these rhythms in your scales, go ahead and try and play it in this song. It's really just fun to try and find the groove here. So just really get into I'm at Disney, Disney. So I don't know. It's fun. I hope you enjoy it. And it's fun when you can play it right too, which those exercises will help you do. So on to the next thing. So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is the B flat or A sharp fingering that I would suggest that you use in this song. A sharp appears twice in this piece. First time in the third full measure, and then the second time in the second to last measure of the song. It's each time it's when she says shooting star. Sorry if those notes are wrong. I'm not a singer, and I don't claim to be. That's why I play the saxophone, but you get the point. So there are a lot of ways to play B flat or A sharp on the saxophone. One of the most common ways is what we call side B flat. So side B flat or A sharp is you would play an A. So it's these first two fingers here. And then you're gonna add this bottom side key right down here. So you got 1, 2, 3. You're gonna add this bottom one. So in case you can't see it, A, side B flat, A, side B flat. All right, so that is what we call our side B flat fingering, and that is what I would suggest you use in this piece. Both times that we play this A sharp, we are coming from a C sharp and going to a B natural. When you're deciding which B flat or A sharp fingering you want to use in a piece, it's important to do exactly that, to look at where you're coming from and where you're going to. So I would recommend using side B flat or A sharp in this song because it's really easy just to go C sharp to side to lift up for that B. So it would be, or in the context of the song, it would sound like this. Really easy, simple, just make sure that your fingers are lifting at the same time. Alright, so that is it for our fundamentals for this video. So just to reiterate what we went over, we learned our F sharp minor scale. We went over how to count some of those tricky syncopated rhythms in the first few measures and throughout the piece. And then we also talked about our side B flat or A sharp fingering and how you can choose which fingering is best in different contexts. So next up is a recording of me playing the piece so you can have something to listen to and to reference. I would encourage you to have your music up while you're listening so that way you can read along. And then afterwards, feel free to play along with me or play by yourself or, you know, do whatever, just practice and have fun. And thanks so much for tuning in to You Choose Tunes. Hope to see you next month. All right, here's our tempo. 1, 2. the top. Two, three, one, two. Alright, thanks so much for watching the first video for You Choose Tunes. Submissions and voting for February will be open soon, so be sure to keep an eye on the @YouChooseTunes Instagram account. I hope to see you all next month.